Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It's always nice to have numbers because numbers, at least give you a clearer vision or understanding of a certain situation, as long as the numbers are accurate. Right? And in this case, it's the Ukrainians who tell us how many fighter jets, how many helicopters are surrounding Ukraine ready to be destroyed. And obviously those are Russian helicopters and Russian airplanes. So this article comes from Ukrinform and it is from today, the 16th of August 2022. About 430 Russian aircrafts, 360 helicopters concentrated around Ukraine. Are they doing anything? Or just concentrate and fly around? Show themselves. The number of helicopters used by the Russian Federation against Ukraine has significantly increased to over 360 now. Something is wrong here. In the past 2 days, maybe a day, yesterday and today, I started finding articles that really tell us about the might of Russia. What's going on here? I will discuss this after I'm reading this article, but I have a little gut feeling about this. It says the relevant statement was made by Air Force Command spokesperson Yuri Ihnat during a briefing at Ukraine Media Center. An Ukrinform correspondent reports, and I'm quoting, "At the beginning of the full-scale war, Russia's air formations around Ukraine consisted of 700 aerial vehicles, 450 aircrafts, and 250 helicopters." So 450 aircrafts, 250 helicopters. The Air Force and other defense forces have already destroyed lots of enemy aerial vehicles, but the enemy can replenish stock, bringing aerial vehicles from the middle of the country. Today, there are slightly less planes, 430, deployed around the border with Ukraine at different airdromes in Belarus, Russia, and Crimea. So they have 450 at the beginning, according to these guys, and now they have 430. And they destroyed what? They claim they destroyed like 300 or something. Ukraine, there are the border Ukraine and in Russia, Belarus, and Crimea. But the number of helicopters significantly increased to over 360, deployed close to the border with Ukraine, Ihnat told. In his words, attack aircrafts and combat helicopters are used to provide support for Russia's ground troops most often. According to Hinat, Russian troops are using different types of aerial vehicles. And I'm quoting, "We are recording the use of strategic aircrafts, long-range bombers, Sukhoi 34 fighter bombers, attack aircrafts," Hinat added. Russia's A-50 airborne early warning and control aircraft continue to operate in the airspace of Belarus and the airspace of Russia, Ihnat noted. So, why are they saying this? I made another video about 20 minutes ago where we have the defense minister of Ukraine claiming that the Russians are using about 700 to 800 attacks daily, and they use about, it was 40,000 to 60,000 shells, ammunition rounds a day. Now, why would you say this? Why would you overemphasize the Russian capability or the level of the amount of weapons that the Russians have? Let's fantasize a little bit. Not that kind of fantasize, but this kind of fantasizing. One, they want more weapons from the West by saying, see, we are depleted, they are replenishing. They have, look how much ammunition they have, look how many rockets they have, look how many missiles they have, look how many airplanes, look how many helicopters, more than they had at the beginning, almost, I mean, in terms of helicopters. So, hello, give us some more. This could be one aspect. Saying, look, the Russians are getting, we don't get anything, we're going to lose because of you. The second aspect, is this a sign where the Ukrainians are trying to say by this that, you know what, it's useless. I mean, look at these guys. It's like the Germans did in the Second World War when the so-called Soviet hordes were coming and coming and coming and boom, 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 nothing. They were coming and coming. So like we killed so many, we see the next day the same amount. That was a report from a soldier's letter that was saved. We were killing today, and the next day the same number was coming from the horizon. So that's very psychologically detrimental. It destroys your strength, your will to fight. You understand that? Now, could this be a little justification of maybe pushing to something? And I don't know if a peace, a negotiation. If this is to happen, if this is the second, let's say the second scenario of fantasy, that they will try to say, look, they're replenishing everything, we don't have anything, let's try it now to time out. If that is the case, that is, I would have a little gut feeling that is against what their sponsors profess. Because I read a very, very, very interesting article this morning. I think it was last night, I think this morning. I know, time passes like crazy. Where you had a Ukrainian general, making some statements, and then a Ukrainian MP saying certain things, and they didn't like the popularity of that general. So might be, treason tomorrow, both of them. And then we had the Shoigu, Sergei Shoigu, the Russian Ministry of Defense, who stated that the Ukraine army's planning for the war is done by Americans and by Brits. It's not all this is planned by them. It's not by the Russian, obviously by the Ukrainian military. So it's not something that comes like a surprise. But for this guy to say it like that, then to see that within the I think this is the way it is. The sponsors have those Zhmihals, Zelenskys, and Oleksiy, whatever his name is. They have their guys over there, and they have the media, the same kind of guys that portray the situation as it is, as the great leader and all that. And then there is the real guys who really fight or really, are over there. But they're told by the Americans and the Brits what to do, where to do, and so on. And I think the Ukrainians are seeing this, and I don't think they might have these thoughts coming and going in their heads. We're dying and we're losing, and these guys don't care. They want us to win. Maybe they think it's an unwinnable war. I don't know, but with this kind of statements, look how much they got, look, it's a very defeating kind of attitude. So I don't know if it's a little, how should I put it, revolution within Ukraine leadership, if you know what I mean. Zelensky can disappear tomorrow if the Ukrainian military wants. Just like this, the same, he can disappear in a second if the sponsors want. Because the guys, the bodyguards around him, which are, they're paid somehow. Who pays them? Zelensky? Or they're for the Ukrainian? They know who this guy is. They know how much this artist can think, or no, right? He was not a comedian. I think he graduated at Polytechnical or something, university or something. But that doesn't matter. But What kind of? I saw some pictures with Zelensky around some maps, like Hitler was looking over some maps with some two militaries, weasels, not weasel, but they were not big shots behind him. And he was like, the light, everything was perfect. It was like a movie. It was like Rommel, the movie Rommel. Oh my God, look at this field marshal right here doing. And he was like, what joke should I say tomorrow? And he was. It's a picture. I was like, oh my God, who makes these pictures? Who pushes them? And it's the big strategist. Yeah. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.